将来見出そう 前言少女名う大座お膝上如線の子が将来みだそ実法将来勝負し権限人図し安楽戦後尊厳上業子が将来みだそ小無上無我と薬如水元年よろ一種説法無名字子が将来みだそ依存無線無悪名薬無女人悪道不主任死心教非尊子が将来みだそ依存無量法勉強無所主悪知識往生不体死亡大子が将来みだそが千に尊苦毒寺修善無変妖怪水小逆前言少女者衛生主上小非公ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願にしく毒平等性祭どんぼ大心往生安楽ナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナナマンナスナマンナスナマンナスナマンナスナマンナナマンナスナマンナスナマンナスナマンナスナマンナスPlease join me in 合唱
The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bonds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. Shoujo koumyo narabi nashi, gushi ko no yue nareba, issai no goke monozo korinu, hikkyo e o kimi o seo. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, everyone. As we enter into the summer season, the weather is getting much nicer and the air feels a lot warmer and more comfortable. The sea breezes feel much nicer. The ice cold drinks are much more attractive and refreshing. It's a nice time to get out into the sun and enjoy nature. I've been doing a lot of this with my son, so we kind of go for walks through parks and such. He hates it, but I love it, and we get a lot of sun. Oh, by the way, did you know that we are still in the midst of a pandemic? Yeah, that's still happening. It doesn't seem like it with all the news that's kind of been going on in the news, but we are not out of the woods by any stretch of the means. So let's continue to stay safe and wear our masks. But today I'd like to share with you something that happened to me the other day. I get a random phone call by a person in the morning, and I wasn't sure who it was, but I picked up and answered, and it turns out that's one of our members who passed away some months ago. The person who was calling me was in charge of cleaning up the house because they were going to put that house up for sale. And so this person had this enormous responsibility of deciding what items to throw away, what to keep, and etc. And she saw the home altar, or what we call obutsudan, a custom we see fast fading away, but is such a vital custom in our tradition and in my opinion. But anyway, the person did not want to just throw it away, and she didn't know what to do, so she got in contact with the person who handled her funeral, which was me. So I was very happy that this person took the time to call me to see what to do with the obutsudan. This shows kind of a lot of respect on her part, and I really appreciated that. And so I decided to go over there and take the obutsudan back to the temple. And when I get to the house, I can see just kind of how big of a task it was to get rid of someone else's belongings. The house was kind of in disarray, but in the middle of that big mess, there was the obutsudan sitting in the same place it had always been. And it was probably there for many, many years while that person was alive. So the obutsudan, or home altar, is a miniature version of what you see here, the onaiji, what we call the altar here. Okay. It has what we call the gohonzon, which is in the central object of reverence, which in a lot of cases is the statue of Amida Buddha, but sometimes it's a scroll of a picture of Amida Buddha, or sometimes it is the Buddha, the 6-character phrase, Namo Amida Butsu. There is also a scroll of Shinran Shonin, the founder of our Buddhism, which is located right here. And then on the other side, there is another scroll of Rennyo Shonin, who is the 8th head priest of our organization, the Nishihonganji. And he's kind of regarded as the person who revitalized our tradition, which was kind of on the brink of collapsing at one point. So the miniature version is kind of inside the obutsudan, and as I mentioned before. And ideally, the family joins together before the obutsudan and has a small service every night, chanting a short sutra and talking about family issues together. Before dinner, someone in the family fills the rice holder, which is like this little cup thing, and it's also called a obukban, with rice, and that person brings it to the Buddha before everyone has the meal together. And this is to kind of symbolize that we are all enjoying the meal together. And when the family has a chance or when they have guests over, there should be some fresh flowers placed in front of the Buddha. And some treats like maybe omochi or like candy can be placed on the side. In addition, past family members and their dharma names, which are written on homyo cards or dharma cards, are placed near the obutsudan. You might see pictures of the past family members near the obutsudan as well. And so this is the basic layout and purpose of the obutsudan. It's placed in the room where the family gathers the most, ideally the living room, and it is always in a place of prominence, easily identifiable. If you are a guest of a family who has an obutsudan, regardless of what school that family is a part of, it is very customary to go to that in front of the obutsudan and place your hands in gassho and bow, okay? And recognizing the Buddha's presence and understanding that the Buddha is the spiritual foundation of for that family. So please remember to do that if you ever see an obutsudan at a family, at a friend's house or a family member's house. And it's also important not to place anything, kind of if there's the obutsudan, it's important not to place anything on top of the obutsudan, like let's say putting your wallet or your watch on top of that. I've seen that before. Please don't do that. Please don't put any important like papers or anything like that on top of the obutsudan either, as that is like placing something on top of the Buddha, right? So nothing is to go above the Buddha, as there is nothing that surpasses the Buddha Dharma. Nothing goes beyond the Buddha Dharma. And so that is what that is symbolizing. The obutsudan can be, and this should be emphasized more in my opinion, but the obutsudan is a place for one to reflect on the day's events or for one to reflect on life in private. You can speak to the Buddha as if the Buddha is there. And this is the place where you can come to for spiritual solace and private reflection, whether that is by yourself or that is with your family. So you see, the obutsudan has a very important role in the family household. It is very unfortunate that this tradition is fast disappearing, as our ancestors all the way up until fairly recently, most Buddhist families still had an obutsudan in their possession, no matter how small or how big and ornate it was. I remember once doing a makuragyo, bedside service for a family not too long ago, and that person who passed away was a very active member at our temple, serving for a long time as the Dharma school's superintendent. And when I went to her room in the hospital, she had their family obutsudan in her room, right? And it was so nice to see that. So nice to see that in a hospital where so many things are foreign, right? The hallways are cold. The cold tile floors are very unwelcoming, right? The people are very unfamiliar, where the walls are neutral color, as if to say, we don't really care about you. That there is an obutsudan right there to bring comfort, to bring warmth and familiarity to such a cold place. I was happy to see that this tradition of the obutsudan, although it is fast disappearing, it is not altogether gone. Anyway, returning back to the story of going to retrieve the obutsudan from that one person's house, as I placed my hands in gassho and then went to move the obutsudan, it suddenly dawned on me that I felt like I was signaling the end of an era. It was as if I was the person pulling the curtain to the person's life. It was a very weird feeling, nonetheless. How many dinner parties did this obutsudan see? How many arguments did this obutsudan witness? How many joyous occasions did this obutsudan encounter with this family in its time at this spot? And sitting next to the Obutsudan, there was an organ next to this, to the Obutsudan. And the person was very good at the piano, apparently, from what I hear. So how many songs did this Obutsudan get to hear? All of those memories, all of those experiences were coming to a close when I had to shut the doors of the Obutsudan and put it in a box. As I was cleaning the Obutsudan and getting rid of the old items that were no longer usable, I felt somewhat responsible for this altar. I had only met this person once in my life, and now suddenly I have to decide what to do with her belongings that were with her for so many years. And this precious Obutsudan, which was under her care for many years, I had to suddenly decide what to do with it. So for example, inside the Obutsudan, she had this little small bottle of liqueur. I mean, you would have the ones that you find in a hotel or something like that. And so I had to throw this away, this small bottle of liqueur, because it was no longer of any use, right? But I thought to myself, what kind of meaning did this have for her? Why was this there in the Obutsudan, right? Did she get this as some kind of as a present in her life at one point? Did she have that there because of some fond memory that she had, right? But to me, it was a bottle of liqueur, right? And as such, it was to go to the trash because it no longer had that same value for me. There is a common phrase in Japanese, buta ni shinju, which literally translates to a pearl to a pig, which, in other words, a pig doesn't understand the value or preciousness of a pearl, right, as a human would. In the same manner, I had no idea of the value of this small bottle of liqueur as it did for that person. This is the tragedy of life. We humans forget or do not understand other people's feelings and experiences, yet life goes on. This is what it means to be an ignorant person, an ordinary person, or as Shinran Shonin calls it, bombu. We place value judgments on things based on their worth to us. We do this not just for things, but we also do this for people around us, people in general as well. We place value judgments on people, labeling them as good, bad, left, right, wrong, benefit, worthlessness, based on their relation to us. What makes matters worse is that our feelings towards them can change. Right? Something we thought was good now turns bad. Right? Something we thought was wrong all this time now is right. We change our feelings moment by moment, day by day, or over time, according to our whims, according to our egos, according to our wants at that time, at that place in time in our life. This is what causes suffering, as Shakyamuni Buddha explains. This is what causes us to remain in confusion and delusion. But nevertheless, this is the world we live in, the Saha world, as it is referred to. It is such a sad state, this human condition. But when I brought the Obutsudan back to the temple with this kind of sad and heavy heart, and as I was cleaning the Obutsudan, I noticed that I was cleaning the small Obutsudan in front of a bigger Gohonzon, right, in our small chapel in one of our rooms called the Reverend Pratt Room. And in some weird sense, there's this much large, bigger scroll that says Namo Amida Butsu, and I was in front of this and I was cleaning as I was cleaning the Obutsudan. And in some weird sense, it was kind of like the small Obutsudan was returning back to home base, right? And the bigger Gohonzon, or the scroll of the Buddha, was welcoming this Obutsudan back, right? Saying, Good job, good job. よくやった。お疲れ様でした。お疲れ様でした。Thank you for taking care of this person while she was alive. Of course, this is me probably wanting to think this way, but nevertheless, I did feel better. This obutsudan now needs another home, another family to care for. But what I take away from this whole thing is that we all need something to rely on, something that becomes our spiritual foundation, our anchor in this hectic and turbulent world. What we need has to be something that is permanent, something that is enduring, something that will always be there for us. We can't exactly find that in other people. Rather than people, that something has to be a teaching, an ideal, a truth that is resistant to the changes of time and space. For us Shin Buddhists, that is Amida Buddha, the encapsulation of wisdom and compassion. In concrete terms, that was the obutsudan for this person. The home altar became that anchor for this person. The one anchor in the household that held her up, sustained her, and kept her going through this world of turbulence. And don't get me wrong, most of the days the obutsudan probably, blended in with most of the furniture in the house, but it is there nonetheless, right? The Buddha was there when she needed the Buddha. The Buddha inside the obutsudan served as a reminder that she was not alone, that she was being cared for, that she would be okay in this world of confusion, despite how easy it is to overlook that truth. So let us remember the significance of the obutsudan, the home altar, and remember that when we come home after a long day's work, after dealing with people we like and dealing with people we dislike, we come home to a place that designates the importance of spiritual reflection and will always keep us grounded when we need it most. Let us have a place in our homes that recalls the importance of our ancestors, of each member of our family here and now, and always tells us that our true home for our spiritual selves lies in the embrace of Amida Buddha's great compassion. Please join me in Gassho. The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bonds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo Amida Butsu.
Meditation reading number 4. Reverently, we come before the shrine of the Buddha, the Holy One, the Perfect One. With gratitude, we have brought our offerings of love and devotion. We earnestly resolve to strive to understand the holy teaching and to walk every day in the blessed path, so that we may attain the peace of nirvana. May the wisdom of the all-compassionate One so shine within our hearts and minds that the mists of error and the foolish vanity of self be dispelled. So shall we understand the changing nature of existence and reach spiritual peace. Buddha's compassion embraces all people, and his never-lessening desire is for their happiness. He loves people as parents love their children, and he wishes for them the highest blessedness, namely, that they might be able to pass beyond this ocean of life and death. As the sun shines upon the earth, awakening into growth the seeds that lie dormant in the soil, may the light of wisdom shine into our minds and truly awaken us to our ignorance, and by this insight stir us to strive for a life of deeper understanding and enlightenment. On the long journey of human life, faith is the best of companions. Faith is the best refreshment by the way, and the greatest reward at the end. Faith is the hand that receives the Dharma. Faith is the hand that receives the prophet. The spirit of Buddha is great wisdom and compassion to save all people by any and all means. It is the spirit of a mother toward her child, nourishing and protecting it. It is the spirit that prompts us to be ill with the sickness of people, to suffer with their suffering. Your suffering is my suffering, and your happiness is my happiness, said Buddha, and he does not forget that spirit for a single moment, for it is the self-nature of Buddhahood to be compassionate.